Good morning, everyone. Tina Hogan Grant here. It is 8 o'clock in the morning here in sunny California. It is release day for my book, Jill, which is book 4 of the Sabela series. I wanted to come in and say hello to everybody and read you the first 2 chapters of Jill. So I'm going to wait for a few people to come on and I will start reading. Hey, Peggy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Sherry's here. Hey, Sherry, good to see you. I'm going to read the first 2 chapters from Jill, book 4. It went live today. It's publication day. And no matter how many books I publish, it's always an exuberating feeling waiting for it to go live and getting the responses from my early reviewers. Jill has had fantastic reviews so far. Hopefully some will be showing up today on Amazon. Sometimes it takes a day, sometimes it takes 2 days. So we'll leave it up to Amazon to see how long it's going to take to show the reviews. But I'm really, really pleased with the feedback for Jill. And I want to thank the review team for taking the time to read the book, post your reviews, let others know that you enjoyed the book. So I really appreciate every single one of you. It's only 8 o'clock here, so I'm still waking up. I still have my cup of coffee. I'm on my 3rd cup, I think. But I wanted to give you a feel of Jill before my day starts. I have a release party going on in the group. There'll be games all day and some giveaways. The release is going really well. I'm really pleased with the results. The one thing that didn't go right, thank you, Amazon, is Slater was supposed to be free today. It's my way of saying thank you and, celebrating the release of Jill. And Amazon was supposed to have Slater for free today. It is not free. They ensured me that it'll be free tonight at midnight for tomorrow. So I'm going to post a link as soon as it's free. And anyone that has not read Slater or doesn't have a copy, you can grab your copy, crossing fingers that it goes free tomorrow. So that's one thing that didn't go right today, but that's okay. It will be free tomorrow. And I put it in the newsletter, which went out today. But they did promise me that it will go free midnight tonight. So anyways, thank you for being here and joining me. Who else is here? We've got Darlene Johnson. Donna is here. Let's see. B is here. I see a couple of Facebook users. You must be in the group, which means that you need to click on the blue link above the video to let me see who you are, because the group is private. If you're on my author page or YouTube, it's not private, and I can see who you are. It's just in the group because it's private. So we have a few people here. I want to do just a little outline on each book. There's 4 books in the series right now, and I know a lot of you know about the series, but for those that do not, I want to just give you a little rough outline. Book 1 is Slater, and my intentions were to write just one steamy romance while I was waiting for my editor to finish a book from my other series, the Tammy Mello series. But it turns out that every character in the book wanted their own story, which I love. I think it's great. I love getting to know the characters better each time I write a book from the series. And in Slater book 1, you meet all of the characters: Jill, Claire, Slater, Sabela, Travis, and Davin. Davin was Sabela's first love, and that's where the book starts. And they're departing. Right at the beginning of the book, they're saying goodbye. Davin is going to Texas, and Sabela is staying in California. But the book takes you on the journey of Sabela's self-discovery, but also Davin's jealousy. He wants Sabela to join him in Texas and decides to stalk her, threaten her, and it really puts Slater and Sabela's relationship to the test. After I'd written the book, I thought it would be good to give a little background on how Sabela and Davin met. So there is a prequel. It's called Davin. It is only a short prequel. It's free if you sign up for my newsletter, and there is a post in the group today for that. It's only 25 pages, so it's only on ebook. I didn't put it in paperback because it's a short prequel. If you don't want to do the newsletter, it is 99 cents on Amazon. But that is book 1, Slater. And then each book, all the characters do come back. You get to know a little bit more about them. In book 2 is Eve. Now, she made a brief appearance in Slater. I really wasn't too fond of Eve when she came into the story in Slater. But she reached out to me. I mean, my characters talk to me. I don't plot my books. I don't plan them. The characters tell me which direction the story is going to go. And Eve had a story, and it's quite a shocker. I was really, really surprised with Eve's story. So this one is very suspenseful. The ending is very surprising. Even I didn't see it coming. So this is Eve book 2. And again, you'll see Claire and you'll see Travis and Jill. They're all in the books. And then book 3 is Claire. Claire, I really enjoyed writing because she had been very quiet in the other 2 books. So I was really excited to get to know Claire. And she is very quiet in this book too. But there is some secrets that she held that were revealed in this book. Her and Travis have a thing going on, but it's complicated from day one. So this book takes you on their journey, how they met, and if their relationship will survive. But this one I really enjoyed writing because Claire really opened up, and I got to know her a lot better. And you will too. That's Claire. And then Jill, which is the one that came out today, is this one. Jill was another character that I was not very fond of, and even a few readers in the reviews have said they were not too fond of Jill, and I don't blame you. I was not fond of her. She's sassy. She's spoiled. She wants everything her way. She has an obsession with pink, but she really opens up in this book. Travis is her ex-boyfriend, and Travis, has a major accident, and this really turns Jill around, and we get to see another side of Jill that is really quite pleasant. So this is book 4. I'm going to read the first 2 chapters from this book for you, and hopefully you will like it. I think we have enough people to do that. Peggy says I should have been an ARC reader. That way I could have read it already. Peggy, anytime you want to be an ARC reader, when I have a book coming out, I will add you to the list, and you just, let me know, and I'll send you the book. I'd love to have you on the team. I think right now, I'm not sure how many I have, but each time I have a book come out, I try and add a few more people to the ARC team and let it grow. When that happens, I post in my group, and you have the opportunity to jump on board and be on my ARC team. I really appreciate everyone that takes the time to read the books. Let me see. Hold on one second. Okay, I think I'm ready to read. I'm going to take one sip of coffee. I'm still waking up. I feel like I've been here all night. I was just here last night. I had a fabulous chat with Sarara from New Zealand. Tina Rose is here. Elaine Sapp is here. Hey, ladies, good to see you. Happy you are here. And like I said, all day long, there's going to be games, giveaways in my group to celebrate the release of Jill. And I'm also doing some takeovers in some other groups throughout the week. Tomorrow, I'm going to be in High Society Book Club. I'm going to be doing a 3-hour takeover there from, okay, let me think. These times get confusing because I'm on the West Coast. I think it's noon my time till 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So that would be 3 till 6 Eastern. That's tomorrow. I'll post it in my group later today. That's a High Society Book Club. And then on Thursday, where am I Thursday? Good Lord. Oh, I'm in Karen's group. Karen, right? Care Bear Book Readers. I'll be there Thursday. I don't have the times in front of me, but I'll list in the group. And then I know I'm doing another one in Loves to Read and another one in Tattered Page Book Club. But I'll post them in the group the day before. So if you want to come join me over there, and support me and join me in the takeovers. That would be fantastic. Lori is here. Hey, Lori, good to see you. Happy you are here. And if you pre-ordered Jill on ebook, it should be in your devices now. It should have dropped in there at midnight last night or this morning. If you pre-ordered a paperback, hopefully Amazon doesn't mess up. They should be shipped out within the next few days. So let me know if they're not in your devices, but they should have dropped into your devices by now. So hopefully you can start reading them today. So here's Jill again, the cover of Jill. I'm going to read chapter 1 and 2. And I'll also be doing some live reads. Maybe, I'm not sure which group, but I will be reading chapter 1 and 2 again in some other groups. Hope you don't get tired of me. But that way, readers that weren't here today can still listen to the chapters. Okay, so chapter 1, Jill. I heard footsteps coming towards where I sat at my desk in the reception area of the dental office. I looked up, surprised to see Claire. What does she want? I mumbled under my breath. I have nothing to say to her. We've hardly spoken two words in the years we have worked together, which has been over 3. The last time was over 5 days ago, and it was more of an argument when Travis, my ex, made an unannounced visit and told me he and Claire were dating. I tried to avoid her by returning my focus to the computer screen in front of me, but we were the only 2 people in the room, and it was impossible. So I didn't acknowledge her when she approached my desk. Silence settled between us as I remained fixated on my screen. Jill, we need to talk, Claire said in a sharp tone. I didn't look up and snapped at her. I'm busy. What could she possibly have to say to me that I would care about? I wondered. She here to rub it in my face that she is now Travis's girlfriend? I questioned myself. Claire released a heavy sigh. Jill, this will only take a minute of your time. Will you please look at me? Her tone was forceful, and I reluctantly made eye contact with her. As usual, she was dressed in her light blue scrubs, wore no makeup, and her black framed glasses dominated her face. My first thought was, what does Travis see in her? She's nothing like me. I looked her up and down, still unable to understand why he dumped her for me, why he dumped me for her. Yeah, we hadn't been getting along, and our love life was non-existent. But damn, we'd been together 4 years. We had a history, and he had thrown it all away for her. I don't get it. Even though I no longer love Travis, I don't even know when I stopped loving him. It's still bullshit that he chose Claire over me. What do you want? I asked, matching her tone. She rested her forearms on the counter and leaned in. I wasn't planning on telling you this without Travis here, but I refused to go through another episode of hiding secrets from you. I didn't like it the first time around when Travis and I started dating, and we were afraid to tell you. So I'm not doing it again. The minute I walked through that door this morning, I felt uncomfortable, just like before. She wasn't making any sense. Look, I'm busy. What is it that you want, Claire? She took a deep breath. I wanted to tell you from the horse's mouth before you heard it from anyone else. She paused and took in another breath. Travis proposed to me over the weekend, and I said yes. My jaw dropped, and my body fell back against my seat. What? He proposed to you? I shook my head in disbelief. But you've only been dating him for a few months, right? I asked, shocked by the news. Claire nodded. Almost 3. And he proposed to you already? I was with him for 4 goddamn years, and not once did he bring up marriage. What the hell? Claire creased her brow. What, are you jealous? I'm only telling you because it's the right thing to do. It wouldn't be right if you heard it from someone else, Claire added. I shook my head and folded my arms. No, I'm not jealous. What gives you that idea? Why are you rubbing it in my face that you're going to be Travis's wife? I honestly don't care, but I don't understand why you guys are in such a rush to get married. Claire rolled her eyes. I'm not trying to rub it in your face. You're the one that complained about Travis not bringing up marriage with you. I honestly thought this was a good idea to come and tell you before someone else did, but I can see how it was a mistake. I had enough and raised my voice. Claire, what do you want me to do? Be all happy for you and give you a big hug like we are best friends? Well, I can, okay? Last week I found out the 2 of you are dating, and then 5 days later you told me you're getting married. Travis and I may have had our differences, and yeah, I'll admit I treated him like shit towards the end, and I wanted out just as much as he did. Tears pooled in my eyes. I fought to keep them from spilling. When he left me, even though I knew it was going to happen, it still hurt. I mean, it really hurt. I played like I didn't care, but after our last fight, and when he walked out that door, I knew it was over, and it suddenly became so surreal. I wiped a tear that had escaped my eye. It's just weird, okay? We both work here, and you're a constant reminder of Travis. How am I supposed to move on when I have to be reminded that he dumped me for you every time I see you? Claire moved her hands to her hips and shook her head. What are you talking about, Jill? He didn't dump you for me. You even said a few minutes ago that you knew it was over before he ended it. Even if he hadn't met me, you know damn well you guys had no future. You are just using me as an excuse. Look, I'm sorry seeing me upset you and remind you of your breakup, which was bound to happen anyway, but you won't have to worry about it soon. Why? Is there something else you need to tell me? I snarled. As a matter of fact, there is. I'll be giving my 2 weeks' notice soon. You won't have to worry about seeing me anymore. I wasn't sure how to react to the news, but I was curious by yet another shocking announcement from her. Why are you quitting? Is it because of me? Claire released a slight chuckle. No, Jill, it's not because of you. It takes a lot more for someone to make me run. I suddenly had an alarming thought. Wait, are you pregnant? I didn't wait for her to answer. Instead, I crossed my arms and narrowed my eyes. That would explain the rushed wedding. You're pregnant, aren't you? Claire looked away for a moment. Her cheeks blushed and her eyes sad. No, Jill, I'm not pregnant. So why the sad face? And why are you quitting? I don't want to get into details, but Travis and I might go into business together, and I want to give it 100% of my time. I creased my brow again. Business together? Doing what? Oh, wait. Are you doing another Slater and Sabela thing? Are you going to be doing that building stuff with Travis? No, it's something else, and it may not even happen, but I want to give it my best shot. I was dying to know. So what is it? Why all the secrecy? You told me about you and Travis getting married, fearing I'd hear about it from someone else. Well, what makes you think I wouldn't hear about this from another source? I gave her a canning grin, knowing I had her. She had to tell me. Claire rested her palms on the counter. Look, I've probably already said too much. I'm sure Sabela will fill you in if it happens. My face froze. Sabela? What does she have to do with it? I've not seen her since we met for lunch the day after Travis broke up with me. I shook my head as I remembered that day. God, I was a mess. I folded my arms again and leaned back in my chair. Are you friends with her now? You stole my boyfriend, and now you've taken my friend. What else do you want, Claire? Claire raised her voice, catching me off guard. For the last time, Jill, I didn't steal your boyfriend. Travis is still working for Slater. So yes, I have spoken to Sabela. I'm not stealing your friends, okay? I shouldn't have said anything. You think everyone is out to get you. That's not the case. Maybe one day when you get off your high horse, we could be civil to each other and have a decent conversation without all the accusations. If that ever happens, I'd be happy to fill you in. Just let me know. Until then, I'm done. Have a nice day. I was insulted by Claire's remarks and watched as she raised her hands and stormed off. Now, wait a minute. You can't just walk off and leave me hanging, I yelled. Claire didn't look back. Watch me, she hollered from across the room, before disappearing behind the door that led to her little x-ray room. The lobby fell silent, and I remained in my seat, stunned by what Claire had just told me. Not only was she marrying Travis, but they're also going into business together. It's obvious Sabela knows what is going on. I reached for my phone. Sabela always opened up to me about everything. Glancing down, I located her number and hit the call button. That is chapter 1. Are we enjoying it so far? I'm going to read you chapter 2 in a minute. I want to see who else is here. I hope you're enjoying it. Facebook user, good afternoon. Wonderful. Congratulations. You're a Facebook user. I'm going to just take a little bit of coffee. And then we will start chapter 2. See who else is here. B says she loves it. Thank you, B. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys are here listening. So let me start with chapter 2. I also want to mention, too, that all of the Sabela series, they do have a little bit of steam in them. I'm not going to read the steam parts live, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. And there's some steamy parts in the books. Not a lot. I don't go overboard, but there's a little bit of steamy parts. So if that bothers you, you can always skip those parts. You're not going to miss any of the story. But I did want to point that out to some readers. But it's nothing over the top. It's not, erotica. It's just a little bit of steam. Now we're going to read chapter 2. Where am I? Okay. After 5 rings, Sabela's phone went to voicemail. Damn it, I whispered while the recorded message spoke. After the beep sounded, I said in my friendliest voice, "Hey, Sabela, it's Jill. I haven't seen you in a while and thought we could catch up. I miss you. Call me. I'd love to have lunch with you soon. Bye." I entered the car feeling disappointed. I hated not knowing what Claire and Travis were up to. And how was Sabela involved? I glanced at my phone, relieved to see it was almost lunchtime. I needed to get away from this place and get some fresh air. I texted Sadie, who had been my roommate since Travis moved out. She also worked here as a dental assistant, and we always took our lunches together. It was perfect timing how things had worked out. She began working here a week before Travis and I separated. She mentioned she was looking for a place to live. The rest is history. We get along great. She's 30, a few years older than me. A few weeks ago, though, she met a guy at a bar where we had gone for a couple of drinks after work. And I think she had fallen pretty hard for him. His name is Logan. He builds surfboards and he has a store close to the beach. I can't say I blame her. He's gorgeous. His body has a deep copper tan which accentuates his shoulder-length hair naturally bleached by the sun. Sadie and I had spotted him standing at the bar, looking our way. We nudged elbows and giggled, both drooling at the mouth when he walked our way. I was sure he was coming to talk to me, but as he approached our table, I saw his eyes were fixed on Sadie. Sadie beamed at him with a huge smile. I suddenly found myself alone. Logan pulled up a chair across from Sadie, and the two were instantly mesmerized by each other. It was definitely a mutual attraction. I found myself consumed with jealousy. I wondered what she was experiencing right at that moment. I felt foolish that I had assumed he liked me over Sadie. I always thought I was the prettiest between us, especially since I had dyed my hair blonde again after Travis left. I let it grow out a year ago, but it's back looking full and luscious, and I feel like the old me again, flirtatious and pretty. Sadie is more relaxed and loves the cowboy look and country music. It's all she plays at home and in her car. I'm slowly taking a liking to it, but Madonna and Jennifer Lopez are more my styles. That night, she had worn her usual wardrobe, faded denim jeans and a black t-shirt, dressed with a suede fringe vest and cowboy boots. She loved turquoise jewelry and wore plenty of it on her fingers and around her neck. But that night had been like any other night before Logan had appeared. We'd gone out in the past and hung out with guys in the bars that offered to buy us drinks. But that's as far as it went. We had no interest in going home with them. It was just some fun on a night out. But this is different. I could see it in Sadie's and Logan's eyes. Their body language was a dead giveaway. They both leaned in towards each other. Their elbows rested on the table. If they leaned in a few more inches more, they'd be kissing. Sadie had forgotten about me sitting next to her until Logan spoke, keeping his eyes on Sadie. "Can I buy you ladies a drink?" he asked. Sadie turned to me. Her eyes were bright. "Do you want a drink?" I shook my head. I felt out of place. "Nah, I think I'm going to go home. I'm pretty tired. Do you mind?" I had told her as I stood up. Sadie's smile disappeared, and she took my hand. "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. I'll see you at home. Logan seems like a nice guy, so I'm sure you'll be fine." Logan turned to me and smiled. I promised to take real good care of her. Sadie made it home safely that night. I had fallen asleep, but I noticed a bounce in her step as she skipped across the room to get her morning coffee the next day. Her smile was big, and her eyes were bright. Still dressed in my bathrobe, I poured myself a cup of coffee and chuckled at Sadie. Well, aren't we the happy one? I guess you and Logan hit it off." Sadie leaned back in her chair at the table, where she now sat with her mug, laughing. "Oh my God, yes, we did. We had such a great time. He makes me laugh, and he can dance, too. We got up a few times and danced a few slow songs, but man, I loved how he held my body close to his." I felt my cheeks blush as Sadie described her newfound crush. I was slightly envious but happy for her. Since that night, Sadie saw Logan numerous times and never came home on Saturday night. However, when she walked through the door Sunday morning, she had the face of a girl who just got laid. For the entire day, she did nothing but talk about Logan. Sadie and I had not been friends for long, but I have a feeling that what we have may suffer and become second to Sadie's new relationship with Logan. Sadie finally texted me back and said Logan would join us for lunch. I didn't want to be the third wheel and told her to have fun, and I'd see her at home tonight. She replied with a simple okay. For the first time in months, it seemed I would spend my lunch alone. The decision I had now was where. I didn't want to sit in a restaurant alone and opted to do a drive-thru and eat in my car at the park. The menu was limited for my choices, and I opted for a salad and an iced tea. For the next 30 minutes, I sat in my car and picked up my salad while I felt sorry for myself. I wasn't used to being alone. I've had a boyfriend the past 4 years and plenty of friends. Now it seems they're all moving on with their lives, settling down and making life-changing choices. My life, on the other hand, remained the same, if not worse. I still worked a tedious job as a receptionist. I had no boyfriend or any close friends for that matter, and no exciting plans for the future. The worst part about all this was that I had to admit that I was jealous of Claire. Not because she was marrying Travis. I'm definitely over him. It's because she had goals. And what little things she's told me, it sounded like she had a bright future ahead. What do I have? I do the same job day in and day out, work out of the gym, and lately, since Sadie's met Logan, I spent my nights alone at home. I need to figure out what I want to do with my life. I'm not getting any younger. My phone dinged, interrupting my thoughts. I glanced down at the screen where the phone sat on the seat and saw Sabela had texted me. I picked it up and read her message. Hey Jill, it's so good to hear from you. I'm so sorry I've not been in touch. So much has happened since I last saw you. I'll throw you in over lunch. I have a lot to tell you. So make it a long lunch. Tell me where and when you want to meet, and I'll be there. I gotta run. Bye. I threw the phone down on the seat in disgust. So a lot has happened in her life too. So when I see her for lunch, I'm going to be sitting there listening to all her great news. And of course, she'll ask me what is new with me, and I have absolutely nothing. So I wasn't in any mood to text her back and headed back to work. When I pulled into the parking lot, I spotted Travis's truck, and then I saw Claire leaning in the driver's window. Travis's elbow peeked out where it leaned on the edge. Well, just great. Now I have to witness these two lovebirds. I grunted under my breath. Claire was too busy leaning in the window, giggling and kissing Travis to notice me. This was the first time I wished I didn't drive a hot pink Mustang. I eased my car slowly around to the side of the building, hoping they wouldn't notice me. They did not. And I quickly put the car in park and turned off the motor. The only way to enter the dentist's office was through the front door, directly in front of where Travis was parked. I glanced at my phone and saw I had a few minutes to spare before my hour was up, and stayed in my car in the hopes Travis would soon leave. 5 minutes later, I heard the familiar sound of his truck fire up, and I watched with my head ducked down, which didn't matter. Everyone knew my car. I watched with relief as Travis headed to the parking lot exit and came to a stop to let oncoming traffic pass. The dentist was on a busy main road, and traffic was plentiful at this time of day. I remained in my car waiting until Travis had merged onto the busy street. I was afraid he would spot me in his rearview mirror. A few minutes passed, and I saw the traffic had slowed down. The light must have turned red at the intersection. I watched as Travis pulled out onto the main road and turned into the right lane. A few seconds later, I screamed at the top of my lungs as I watched a black pickup truck come from nowhere at high speed and crash hard into Travis's truck. I covered my ears, when the black truck impacted the driver's side door where Travis sat. It wasn't a tap. It was a hard hit with the force of speed behind it. The loud sound of the truck crashing into Travis's truck kept replaying in my head. It was deafening. No, I screamed at the top of my voice. The screeching sound of brakes and the smell of burning rubber from the skidding tires overpowered my senses. My hand gripped the door handle as I watched in horror. Travis's truck spun out of control across the highway. Other cars skidded to stop, barely missing his vehicle, as it slid to the other side and crashed into a street lamp, where it came to a sudden halt. And that was chapter 2. So I hope you liked the first 2 chapters. I'm sorry to leave it right there. But I hope you enjoyed the live read. I will be doing it again in a couple more groups. Let me know if you like what I read. I hope you did. B says, yay. Heather Oman is here. Hey, Heather, good to see you. Thank you guys for joining me. Marcy says, I love listening to you read. It's such a great read. Thank you, Marcy. I appreciate it. Chelsea says, congratulations on your new release. Laurie says, Jill was so insecure. She was, and she was jealous of all her friends around her. And this, you'll be really surprised about Jill. Like I said, when I write my books, I don't plot them. I don't plan them. I let the characters speak to me. And sometimes they are stubborn and they don't want to. And Jill was one of those characters. I was trying to get her story, and she just wasn't speaking to me for a while, for whatever reason. But when she did, it was quite a surprise. And like I said, a few readers and myself were not too fond of Jill. And she turns out, well, I'm not going to say anymore. I'll let you hopefully read the book. I hope you pick it up. I hope you enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, please let others know. And please, please, please leave reviews. Those are really important, not just for me as an author, but also, also for readers. That way they, when I go look at books, I love to look at reviews and see what other readers thought about it. They really help. They really do. Darlene Johnson, wow, loved hearing you read. It was great. Thank you. Renee, happy release day. Thank you, everyone, so much for being here. I will be in the group, in and out today. There's, like I said, a lot going on with games and giveaways. The other thing I wanted to mention, if you've won prizes, I've been doing giveaways every single day for the countdown for Jill. I have a lot of prizes to give away. There's some swag, there's some paperbacks, picture frames, all different kinds of prizes. My paperbacks, I'm waiting for my case to come in. When I ordered my Reckless Beginnings books, they had sent them individually. I hope they don't do this again with Jill. I'll let you know if they do. But as soon as my case arrives, which should be in a week or so, the winners of the paperback, I'll be shipping those books out. As far as the swag goes and the framed photos and whatever else I'm giving away, those I'm going to be working on packing up this weekend, and I will have them shipped out for you on Monday. So that's it. And I'd love it if you share your prizes in the group. Let others know what you won. And now I'm writing book 5 of the Sabela series. I still do not have a title for this book. This one, I'm having a problem coming up with a title. And the reason why is this, I know is going to be the final book in the series. It's going to be bittersweet when it's finished. Because I've had fun writing this book and getting to know the characters. And this is kind of the grand finale of the book. So it's not a book about a single character. It's a book with all the characters involved. So I really can't just call it, Jill, Claire, Eve. It's all these characters that we've all gotten to know over the past 5 books come together. So I have to come up with a title that represents this story. So I'm really having a hard time coming up with this title. I might go into my review group. If some of you are here, I might go into my review group because you have all read that book and you know what's coming in book 5, or you kind of know some of it, not all of it. So you might be able to help me pick a title, but I'll think about that and maybe I'll do that. I don't want to put it in the group because many people have not read the book. So I don't want to give away book 5. So book 5, unknown title to be named. I'm about halfway through. My goal is, I do know the cover of the book. I do know what the cover is going to be. So that part I'm good, but the title, no. And anyways, I'm about, I think I'm on page 110 on book 5. My goal is to have it published by the end of the year. So hopefully by Christmas time, we will have book 5 out with a title. And then I'll be starting something new. And I'll let you know what that is when the time comes. So, my dears, Crystal is here. Crystal edited Jill and Claire. She did a fabulous job. I highly recommend Crystal for an editor. And Crystal, you will be getting a signed copy for being my editor, just of my way of saying thank you. And I look forward to working with Crystal in my future books. Crystal, thank you for being here. Peggy Patterson, individually. I hope, yeah, I know. I've actually got 200 books coming this time, not 50, of Jill. I hope they don't send them individually. I'll let you know. I'll send a picture. I'll post a picture if they do. I would love a signed copy. It's always more special when it's signed. That's one thing I want to mention too, before I sign off. I see it's 8:30. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I do have all of my paper books available to be purchased directly from me. I do sell them cheaper than Amazon. And if you get them directly from me, there will be a signed copy, which they won't be from Amazon. And not only that, you will also get a bookmark, a personalized note card from me, and a matching magnet. So if you order Jill, you get the magnet and bookmark of Jill. All of these books these for. They are $9 each through me. And the first book to ship is $3. If you order a second book, it's $1 per additional book. So it's like $12 for a signed copy with shipping. Any additional books I ship for $1 each because they're all shipped together. The other series I have, I don't have any books here, the Tammy Mellow series. Those books are, how much are they each? I think they're $10. I think I have to look at my price. I think they're $10 each, $3 for shipping. Each additional book is $1. And they will be signed, and every book you order, you get a matching swag. If you want to order signed copies from me, you can message me directly. Just send me a message, and then I'll send you payment information. I think, checks, Venmo, PayPal. We can work it out. So that is something I wanted to put out there too. That's it, guys. I'm going to let you get on with your day, and I will see you in the group. And thank you so much. Tina's asking, how do we order with you? Just go ahead and send me a message, Tina. Private message me. And I will get back to you. Let me know what books you want. I'll get back to you with a total and a ways to pay. And then once it's shipped, I'll reach out to you and say your book's being shipped. And it'll be signed, postal note card, and the matching swag. And remember, if you order more than one book, the shipping gets cheaper. So that's it. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you guys in the group. And welcome to. Thank you, guys. Bye. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.